Hello, I am going to talk about GTA 5 villains' problem. If we analyze the antagonists, we can see that their motivations seem relatively shallow and do not compare to the deeper and more personal conflicts in other GTA games. The antagonists in GTA 5 have less personal and less developed motives, which can lead to a weaker emotional connection between players and the story. GTA 5 villains. 1. Steve Haines. A corrupt agent without strong influence. Although Steve Haines is a corrupt FIB agent, his corruption is not portrayed as strongly or threateningly as Tenpenny's in GTA SA.
Stop! Get down on your knees. Now down on your stomach. There you go. I'll take that, Hernandez.
Hey, that's my paper, man. That's money.
This is drug money.
My money, man.
Hey, don't worry about it. I'll fill it out later.
Welcome home, Carl. Glad to be back. You haven't forgotten about us, have you, boy?
Hell no, Officer Tenpenny. I was just wondering what took y'all so long.
Get in the car.
Ease up, man. Damn.
Watch your head.
Well, what do we got here?
This is a weapon, Officer Pulaski, that was used to gun down a police officer not 10 minutes ago. Officer Pendleberry. A fine man, I might add. You work fast, nigga.
You know I just got off the plane.
Well, that's a good thing we found you and retrieved the murder weapon.
That ain't my gun.
Don't bullshit me, Carl.
Yeah, don't bullshit him, Carl.
What the fuck you want from me this time?
When we want you, we'll find you. In the meantime, try not to gun down any more officers of the law.
We can see that Tenpenny through his threats and charisma makes it seem like he has more power or connections than Steve Haines. Tenpenny threatened 𝐒𝐫𝐫𝐫 that he will be found guilty of the death of a policeman who was killed by Tenpenny 10 minutes before if he does not do as he says. Steve Haines tries to leave that vibe at times too, but it's not that convincing.
Did I, Cupcake?
Why don't you keep your fucking voice down before I close your fucking windpipe? The joke stopped now, pal. You will show me and my team some respect.
Maybe you could define team for me. Is that just the three of you? Or the greater FIB? Or the entire government? Because I'm tempted to argue that thus far, we haven't shown a lot of your colleagues a whole lot of respect.
And why don't you start with me, genius?
You got it, pal.
It is inspired by Tenpenny and Mike Torino, trying to take the idea of blackmailing the characters into doing the dirty work. While Tenpenny used his power to manipulate gangs, cover up crimes, and terrorize the community of Los Santos, Haines is more of a character who just uses the protagonists to fulfill his personal agenda. His corruption is not felt as deeply in the social fabric of the city and does not have the same dramatic impact on the story. He wants to betray Michael after the protagonists do his dirty work. The chaos on this mission makes the player not understand anything, and later, after Dave insists to not kill Michael, he and Dave speak to Franklin to kill Trevor.
Not quite that way. There's a bit of a problem.
That's right, Davy boy, you could say that.
Steve, I told you I would handle this.
Oh, because you've handled everything so fucking well so far, haven't you?
All right, I admit things have been a little unorthodox, but...
Fucking orthodox! You've ruined my career! Agent Sanchez, arrest these men, both of them.
Steve,
Oh,
come
whoa!
on, please.
You fucking kidding me? Arrest me for what?
For multiple counts of every fucking crime under the fucking sun.
Oh, well, then let me rephrase. Why?
Why?
Because you don't want me to testify in court about our various business dealings, right?
Agent Sanchez, apprehend the suspect!
Agent Sanchez, you'll do no such thing. Now, Steve, we agreed to speak to Michael, to try and explain things to him. Not this. This causes problems for us all.
Okay! Then put your gun down and we'll talk!
After you, buddy.
Come on, where's the trust?
You can do better than that.
They know or think they know that I'm the one that was behind the incident.
Uh-huh. And now you want me to clean up your mess again, right? Before I end up at the bottom of the ocean. Fucking good luck with that.
Put the weapons down, boys. Fun time is over. We've got you.
anti-American activity.
Put your weapons down, all of you!
Who the fuck are you with?
The thing!
You fucking rat. I knew you didn't have the balls for this. For the record, I'm a patriot. I love my country.
Put the weapons down.
Fuck you. We all know you agency boys are ball deep in a plot to drive up your funding by any means necessary.
Put the gun down, gentlemen.
Who the fuck are they?
Fucking Merryweather. What are they doing here?
Steve, put your gun down.
Oh, same goddamn leg.
Go! Fuck!
2. Devin Weston. An arrogant capitalist without moral gravity, Devin Weston is portrayed as a rich and arrogant mogul who believes money can buy him anything, including people's loyalty. However, he poses no real danger to society or the characters beyond his selfish ambitions and personal conflict with Michael. Compared to other antagonists in other GTA games, Devin seems more like an obstacle to the protagonists than a true threat of moral or social weight. He wants revenge because Michael makes him look like a fool, and he doesn't support this. Molly, the Devin lawyer, is killed accidentally by an airplane wing. Devin says lawyers come and go, so he didn't care about Molly's death anyway. His reason for killing Michael is not a very good one. 3. Stretch. A gangster with limited impact, Stretch, a gangster who betrays the family's gang and Lamar, is obviously inspired by the character Big Smoke from GTA, San Andreas. However, his influence on the story is much less. While Big Smoke's betrayal had a profound impact on the narrative structure and community of San Andreas, Stretch's betrayal seems to be only a side detail with no lasting consequences to the world or the protagonists.
Hey, little homie.
Homie? Man, I ain't your fucking homie. Giving Lamar up to the ballers?
Lamar ain't tripping off that shit. You shouldn't either.
Ain't tripping?
Homie learned a lesson. That's OG's prerogative.
Man, that's fucked up shit, Stretch. Man, you better pray I don't see your ass for real.
Punk ass bitch, you have any idea who you talking to?
4. Wei Cheng. A weakly developed anti-hero, Wei Cheng, the leader of the Chinese triad, could have been an interesting antagonist, especially given his conflict with Trevor. However, it doesn't develop long enough to pose a real threat. His motive for pursuing Trevor, because he beat his son and to take over Trevor's businesses, is not explored in depth, and his actions do not have a significant impact. He fails to prove that he's a real danger, and his elimination feels more like a formality than a narrative necessity.
Trevor Phillips Industries.
Mr. Phillips, this is Wei Cheng. You know my eldest son, Tao.
Yeah, the ex-nut. Backed out of a contract we agreed on. How is he?
Still learning the ropes, thank you. My friends miss you in North Yankton. I was hoping we could talk.
Was that your people? Ah, of course. Sorry I had to cut out.
Your operation causes problem for me. I want to expand into Blaine County, but your business and your temperament prevent me from making inroads.
Oh, well, too bad. I don't know what you can do about that.
I've already done something. We have your lover.
Whoa, 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 whoa. My lover?
Michael DeSanta. You live in your trailer together with the maid, and then you were alone in that big house. Well, you're clearly very close. You know, how much will you give up for his safety?
My lover! Yeah, right! It's a tough break. I never want to double-cross a friend and put him in danger, but you gotta do what you gotta do. My business ain't going anywhere.
I'm serious about this. He will die.
Tell him I love him dearly.
No, hey! Where's your humanity?
It's your fucking business, all right? He's dead to me, all right? And chances are, if and when I see him, he's gonna be dead to everyone else as well.
Hey, come on, bro, don't do that.
You're pushing your luck, pal.
I told you,
He ain't my G-Law.
Don't try to persuade me you're not lovers.
He's laughing at you, you fucking idiot. You're making a mistake.
It costs a lot of money to track you down. I had to call in every favor I could in the Midwest. And then you kill several good men. Good day, huh?
Good day. Good fucking day to you.
Kill him. Trevor Phillips isn't coming.
Whoa. No, hey. Where's
Mr. Phillips, I hear your lover left us.
Yeah. What's with that? I thought you were gonna get rid of him for me.
More of my men die, Mr. Phillips. I have put them on your account. You will soon have to pay.
No, well, I'm good for it, pal. You know where to find me.
The motivations of the antagonists in GTA 5 are indeed more superficial and schematic, which reduces their impact on the player. While the game excels in other aspects, such as psychological exploration of the main characters and offering a complex open world, the lack of strong antagonists and deep emotional conflicts can leave a void in the narrative experience. This makes GTA 5 less memorable in terms of central conflict compared to other games in the series. A last possibly villain. 5. Martin Madrazo. Influential Mexican cartel boss, he's not really a villain in the game. Martin Madrazo would have had huge potential to become a much more complex and menacing antagonist in GTA 5 if he had been explored more deeply. In his current form, Madrazo is presented as a Mexican cartel leader, a powerful and dangerous man, but his role in the story is relatively shallow, being reduced to a few missions and a personal spat with Trevor. The story starts off promisingly with Trevor kidnapping Madrazo's wife, which could have escalated into a major conflict between the two. Instead of this conflict being resolved relatively quickly, it could have been expanded and intensified, making Madrazo a powerful enemy who would use his resources and influence to hunt down Trevor and the other protagonists throughout the game. Greater involvement in drug trafficking and organized crime. Madrazo, being a cartel leader, could have been involved in several large-scale criminal activities, such as drug trafficking, money laundering, or even influencing politicians in Los Santos. This would have added an extra dimension to the story and created more reasons for the protagonists to confront him. A complex character with moral nuances. Instead of just being portrayed as a typical cartel leader, Madrazo could have been developed as a character with more complex motivations, perhaps even internal conflicts related to loyalty, power, and family. For example, it would have been interesting to explore the relationship with his wife more deeply than what we saw in the game, just a relationship where Martin only treats her as a servant and hurts her. It would have been interesting to see more of how he manages his criminal empire and underworld conflicts. In the current story, Martin Madrazo appears more as a momentary obstacle than a main antagonist. Had his role been expanded, he could have become a major rival for Trevor and the other protagonists, adding more missions and conflicts leading to a powerful climax. For example, Madrazo could have had a detailed revenge plan that unfolded throughout the game, creating constant tension and danger for the protagonists. Expanding Martin Madrazo's role as the main antagonist could have added an extra dimension to GTA 5's story, making him a much more memorable and influential character. Instead of just being a powerful figure in the background, he could have become a constant and complex threat to the protagonists, with strong motivations and conflicts that resonate throughout the entire game. If you like this, please like and subscribe.